What's up everyone, TJ here. In this video, I'm reviewing the Rome Renegade in collaboration with Snowboard Magazine. All right guys, real quick for your reference before I get into the tech, I'm 5'10", I weigh around 155 pounds, and I tested this board in size 156. Now, if you're unfamiliar, the Renegade is the pro model of Rene Renekangis, who is a pro snowboarder out of Finland. Really exciting to watch. Has made a name for himself with his creativity on his board. And this dude rides a little bit of everything. Any condition from like treacherous, chundry, icy conditions to deep powder, Rene is getting after it. So this board needs to do a little bit of everything. And to accomplish that, they went with a directional twin design. So between the contact points, you're gonna get a centered stance. There's no taper, but it does have a directional outline. So outside the front contact points, you're gonna get a little bit more nose. It's gonna give you more surface area up front to help you out on deeper days. You can always set this stance back as well. They put some extra inserts so you can really set the stance back if you wanna take this board out in some proper deep conditions. It also runs a true traditional camber profile. It's Rome's Stay Positive camber. So that's tip to tail, traditional camber, all the way out to the contact points. And this board does have a pretty significant camber bend to it. So it's really gonna come through with that more powerful, precise feel that you'd expect out of traditional camber. And it's got a lot of other great tech built into it as well. We're gonna get Rome's directional triple hot rod layup, and they use their carbon Omega hot rods. So let's break that down real quick. You're gonna get two of them in the tail, and they kind of run in a V shape from the tail towards the rear insert pack, and one right in the middle of the board in the nose here. And that's gonna be a carbon rod wrapped in carbon fiber. So that's really gonna help amplify the energy that you're able to get out of this snowboard and load more tension into this camber profile. And it's gonna make the tail a little bit snappier and more powerful feeling as well. There's also quite a bit of flax built into the layup of this snowboard. You're gonna get their flax wall sidewalls down the length of the board, as well as their flax impact plates underfoot. It's gonna help offer some dampening and smooth out the ride as you're out there exploring, as well as their sinter speed base. So this is Rome's high-end sintered base material. It's fast, it's dense, it's durable, but you do wanna make sure to wax it regularly to maintain a nice, consistent glide out there and have that optimal feel throughout the season. And the last thing I want to highlight for those of you that really like to nerd out about materials is that this board runs Rome's Super Pop core. So that's a poplar Paulownia core, but it has twice as much Paulownia wood in the core. So if you're unfamiliar, that wood is known to be very lightweight and is sort of the most premium core material. So that's it for a quick tech breakdown here on the Rome Renegade. Let's get into how this board feels out on the mountain. All right, and before jumping into the review here, if you're unfamiliar with Rene's riding style, go check out his new project that just came out. It's called Heaven. It was a 3-year project and it has tons of incredible riding in there, but it really showcases what this board can do very well. This guy is jumping off roofs, he's launching himself into powder, gapping onto massive rails, and putting himself in a lot of situations where you need something sturdy under your feet. And I would say flex-wise, the Rome Renegade does have a bit of a stiffer flex. It's gonna come through with a very responsive feel, both lengthwise and torsionally, and is a little bit of a more aggressive, high-performance kind of snowboard. You can still get some flex out of it, but if you're trying to do like flat tricks and butters, where I think you can really feel the flex of a board very well, you are gonna have to really commit. Get your weight a little bit further towards those tips to get the board to flex. The balance points are pushed out a little bit further as well. So just like sitting in a press is a little bit more challenging, but definitely still possible. But I think that this board is the most fun with that style of riding for types of tricks where you're like utilizing the energy in the snowboard. You're like snapping off the nose for like nollie 3s, MFMs and things like that. And if you do want to fight against that camber profile and that flex, and take the time to figure out that balance point, you can certainly still get some just standard presses out of this board as well. And energy-wise, this board has what it takes to get you in the air. It loads and holds tension very well. It's got a very powerful pop and is a lot of fun for those situations where you want to use the board's energy to help you out, whether that's just ollieing a roller, riding with a more freestyle approach, or trying to utilize that energy when you're carving. I spent a lot of time in the terrain park on this board as well, both at Copper and out at Mammoth late season. And this board's gonna come through with a bit of a more high performance kind of jump leaning feel to it. It's not to say it's not fun on the jibs, but it does ride like a stiffer snowboard. So it's gonna be a little bit more challenging to get presses and more techie tricks out of this one. I think it lends itself more to scenarios where you're riding faster, you're hitting like bigger gaps, starting to work your way up to bigger features, and situations where that stability and energy are gonna come a little bit more in handy. So some of the positives I really liked about this board in the park are that it's very powerful through variable snow conditions. So a lot of times, especially late season, the lips to jumps and landings can get kind of rutted out and chopped up. And this board's gonna be able to breeze through that, keep you feeling comfortable and in control in those scenarios. And it's got plenty of stability as you start to work your way up to bigger features. You know, maybe you're learning some new tricks, you land a little bit back seat, you need to rely on the board a little bit more. This board's gonna come through for you in those scenarios. Now, when it comes to carving, exploring the resort, and riding with a more all-mountain approach, this board's gonna be very capable for you as well. At size 156, you're gonna find a 25.5 centimeter waist width, which is very average. It's gonna give you nice, quick edge-to-edge transitions and feel very comfortable out there, as well as around an 8.2 meter side cut at this size. That's a little bit above average, lends itself more to going fast and feeling comfortable at higher speeds. It's gonna send you into slightly longer, more drawn out carves. And with this full traditional camber profile, you do gotta be a little bit more on it with your edge control and board control, but like I said, this is very, very capable out there. You can open this thing up, bomb some hills confidently. You're not going to be getting any chatter out of the tips. It's going to stay solid on edge as well. It's going to have a very strong edge hold. And one of the big advantages of a board with this much camber and the stability you're going to find in this snowboard is even as you start to venture into more variable conditions, some chopped up snow, some late season heavy slush, this board's going to be able to power through that. So that's something that I really liked about the Renegade. It felt very confident underfoot, very locked in, regardless of where I took it and regardless of what snow condition I found myself in. Overall, the Renegade rides like a high-end cambered freestyle board. It's gonna be better suited for you intermediate to more experienced riders that want something freestyle focused, but still very versatile and capable around the rest of the resort. It's got a powerful pop, it holds a great edge, and there's a little something in the design to help you out regardless of what condition you find yourself in. So if you're looking for something like that, consider the Roam Renegade. It's linked down below this video, so it's easy for you to find, as well as a link to the latest issue of Snowboard Mag. So please make sure to go check that out. Let me know what you think about this one, or if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'd be happy to help you guys out. Drop a like if you got some value. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in a new review next time.